Not everything God revealed to mankind was preserved in the Bible. There are stories that were once told and then buried. There are visions that once made prophets tremble, only to vanish from the official canon. One of them is the Book of Enoch. In it, a man is taken up into heaven by angels, not once but 7 times, ascending through 7 layers of heaven, witnessing blazing beings of fire, souls awaiting judgment, and even angels bound in chains within the darkness. He didn't die. He didn't grow old. He simply disappeared. And the strangest part? This book was once read by ancient Jews. It was even quoted in the New Testament. But then, it was erased. Why? Who wanted us to forget it? And what truths lie hidden within? Truths that might change the way we see heaven, hell, and ourselves. We are about to step into a journey that few have dared to follow to the very end. And Enoch walked with God. Then he was no more, because God took him away. Genesis 5:24. Just one brief sentence, yet it has left a profound question lingering for thousands of years. Where did Enoch go? And how could a man simply disappear from the world without dying? Enoch was the 7th generation descendant from Adam, the great-grandfather of Noah. In the biblical text, no one speaks much about him. No miracles, no heroic deeds, no earth-shaking prophecies like Isaiah or Jeremiah. But there was something extraordinary. Enoch walked with God for 300 years, and then he was gone. No death, no burial, no trace. Like Elijah later, Enoch was taken up to heaven, but he was the very first. What the Bible does not elaborate on, the book of Enoch expands upon, like a sacred diary, recording his journey through the heavens. There, Enoch recounts how angels came to him, not just messengers, but watchers over the world. They lifted him up layer by layer to witness things no one else was allowed to see. The first level, where the souls of the dead gather. The second level, where light and darkness mingle and souls face judgment. The third level, a paradise garden, also where fallen angels are judged. And so it continues, up to the 7th level, where the throne of God reigns, shining too brightly to look upon directly. Enoch, a mere mortal, was allowed to enter a place reserved only for the highest angels. In ancient Jewish culture, walking with God was more than living a righteous life. It meant becoming one with His will, living as if constantly in divine presence. Enoch was the first described this way, and for this reason, he did not undergo death like most of humanity. The book of Enoch writes that he was not only taken up, but later became an angel named Metatron in some Jewish traditions, though this detail does not appear in the Bible. This suggests that Enoch was not just a witness, he became part of the divine order itself. One of the big questions is, if the book of Enoch is so important, why is it not in the Bible? In fact, the earliest Jews and Christians did read it. The New Testament's Epistle of Jude even quotes directly from the book of Enoch. Jude chapter 1, verses 14 to 15. But over time, Jewish scholars gradually rejected texts deemed too mystical. Catholic theologians also avoided books describing angels, giants, or unions between angels and humans, fearing misunderstanding. As a result, the book of Enoch was excluded from mainstream canon, preserved only in ancient Ethiopian tradition. Yet one thing is undeniable. This book was once highly revered. In a chaotic world where we are surrounded by information, noise, and doubt, Enoch stands as a silent yet profound symbol. He did not argue. He needed no power, no miracles. He simply walked with God every day, quietly, and when the time came, he was taken from the world. A sign to us that there is another way, a redemption beyond death. If an ordinary man could enter the 7 heavens, then is this world really all there is? In the next part, we will step into those realms together, where angels are imprisoned, where giants once walked among humans, and where light and darkness are no longer as easily separated as we once thought. In those days, the giants walked the earth, the result of the sons of God coming to the daughters of men. Just a brief passage in the Bible, but one that shakes the very ground beneath us. Who were these sons of God, and why? Did their actions lead God to destroy all of humanity with a great flood? The book of Enoch expands what the Bible only hints at. In chapters 6 through 16, a group of angels, called the Watchers, were assigned to observe mankind. But they didn't just watch, they fell into temptation. At their head was an angel named Semjaza, joined by 199 others. Together they made a pact on Mount Hermon. We will all share in this sin, so that none may turn back alone. Their sin was not merely watching. They united with human women and gave birth to giants, Nephilim. The Nephilim were no ordinary beings. They were tall, bloodthirsty, powerful. The book of Enoch describes them as creatures who devoured all they saw, destroying crops, slaying the innocent, even turning on humans and each other. The earth was defiled, God's creation undone. It was the cries of mankind that reached the heavens and forced God to act. But God didn't act directly, not at first. He sent his angels, Uriel, Raphael, Gabriel, and Michael. Raphael was ordered to bind Azazel, another key fallen angel, and cast him into deep, dark confinement. Gabriel was told to destroy the Nephilim, to pit them against one another until none remained. Michael was sent to warn Semjaza and the Watchers. You will never be forgiven, and your children will not survive. Then came the divine decree. You have seen what the Watchers have done, how they taught mankind the secrets of heaven, things not meant to be known. From now on, heaven will no longer be your home. These angels did not just fall morally, they brought forbidden knowledge. Azazel taught how to forge weapons, create jewelry and cosmetics, sparking ambition, war, and lust. Semjaza taught the secrets of magic and astrology. Others revealed herbs, the sun and moon, and cosmic laws, truths humanity was not ready for. Enoch was chosen to record it all and to speak on behalf of the fallen angels. But their pleas were rejected. Then came the great flood, not just to cleanse mankind, but to erase the legacy of the rebellious angels. But the book of Enoch holds a sorrowful detail. When the Watchers realized their judgment was final, they begged Enoch to intercede. He journeyed to the realm of divine light, recorded their petitions, and returned with the sentence: no forgiveness, only holy silence. And so they were cast into the abyss of Tartarus, where they wait for the final judgment. If the Watchers once mingled with humanity, could their bloodline still exist? Many Jewish and Christian traditions believe the spirits of the Nephilim did not vanish. They became evil spirits, demons, wandering the earth. That explains why demons in the New Testament sought to possess human bodies, for they once had bodies and lost them. If angels can fall, what awaits us, fragile humans? And if those angels are still imprisoned, awaiting judgment, how close is that day? In the next part, we will continue through the remaining heavens, where Enoch saw paradise, where souls are divided into 4 regions, and where Judgment Day was foretold thousands of years before Jesus was born. We often imagine heaven as a single place, beautiful, radiant, filled with angelic singing. But according to the book of Enoch, the spiritual reality is far more complex and layered. On a journey guided by angels, Enoch didn't just ascend to heaven. He passed through 7 levels of heaven, each revealing a deeper truth about the universe, the soul, and divine justice. In the first heaven, Enoch saw a dark realm where the souls of the dead gathered. But they were not all together. They were divided into 4 distinct regions based on how they had lived. One area for the righteous, where peace and soft light surrounded them. One for the wicked, marked by torment and fire. A neutral zone for those still awaiting judgment. in a strange, solemn place, reserved for Abel, the first person murdered, who still waits for God to judge Cain. This shows us heaven is not where all souls go immediately, but a kind of holding place until the final judgment. The second heaven, Enoch wrote, was a prison where rebellious angels were chained in darkness and blazing fire. There Enoch heard quiet weeping, the cries of beings who were once radiant, now imprisoned forever. The third heaven was the Garden of Eden, but not the earthly one. This was a heavenly version, glowing with the tree of life, a resting place for the righteous souls. Strangely, Enoch describes Eden not just as a garden, but as a gate, a spiritual lock that no one can pass through unless they've been declared righteous. Enoch was shown angels who manage time, the sun, the moon, the stars, and the seasons. Here the universe is not a machine, but a divine system operated by intelligent beings. One angel controls the sun's movement, ensuring life on earth. Another watches over the seasons to keep time flowing as it should. Others keep books, recording the actions of every human being, every single day. In the sixth heaven, Enoch saw angels who never sleep, never grow tired, only worship and wait for divine orders. This is the realm of order, justice, and absolute discipline. Finally, Enoch reached the highest heaven, a realm of unbearable light, where even the most glorious angels must cover their faces to worship. There he saw the eternal white throne and was shown the final judgment. The books were opened. Souls who had waited were now judged. Enoch, just a human, was invited to approach the throne and heard the divine voice say, "Write down what you see, so that in the final days people will read and understand what was once hidden." A mission was born. Enoch was no longer an ordinary man. He became heaven's scribe. In the highest realms, Enoch didn't just see the present, he saw the future. He was shown a coming one, called the Son of Man, who would sit at God's right hand, judging both angels and mankind. A time when the wicked would prosper briefly, only to be destroyed without mercy. A new world where the righteous would live forever. No more pain, no more tears. Many scholars believe this is a prophetic vision of the Messiah, who would later be revealed as Jesus Christ. If a man once saw Judgment Day, thousands of years ago, then could it be that we are now living in the time he once saw? The Book of Enoch is not just an ancient tale, it is a warning, a light, a map to understand what is and what is yet to come. We've just walked through a long journey, from the fall of angels to the radiant layers of heaven to the very gates of the final judgment. But perhaps the most important question still remains. Why was the Book of Enoch hidden? Why would a book so rich in imagery, warnings, and prophecy be left out of the official Bible? Many scholars believe it was too powerful, too dangerous for a faith system under control, or simply that humanity wasn't ready to know the things Enoch had seen. But today, as it's returning, being translated, being read, being pondered, as if an old door has quietly creaked open again. Maybe you don't believe it all. Maybe you still have doubts. That's a good thing, because Enoch too was just like us, called, guided, and forced to choose between fear and faith. We are living in a time when the sacred is no longer hidden, but slowly being revealed to those who are willing to listen. You might be one of them. If this video stirred something in you, even just a small question, stay with us, subscribe, because the next videos will lead you to other gates, banned books, forgotten prophecies, messages meant for the end times. The journey doesn't end here, it's only just beginning. Leave us a comment. What do you think about the Book of Enoch? Do you believe what he saw was real? We're always listening. Thank you for walking with us. May you find peace on your own spiritual path.